Hi, everybody. I'm not sure whether you can see me because I don't think I can see me yet. Oh, there I am. I just saw me. I'm so excited. I'm Sue Rumack, and I am an empath trainer, an overwhelm strategist, and overwhelm specialist for highly sensitive people. And the reason that I'm doing this live is because there was a post in this group that an Empaths Are Us support for empaths that I found absolutely fascinating. A woman had posted that she didn't know why she loses her words. She has the inability to speak when she's feeling hurt. She just can't get those words out. It's if there's hands around her throat, or that she feels as if people tell her that when she's feeling hurt, it's as if she's turned off the light bulb and all the light inside of her gets turned down. She got over 160 responses in, I don't know, a couple of days here on Facebook in this group. And most of those responses were from other people just like her, that may not have known her, that maybe do know her, that said, yeah, me too, me too, me too. Other people said, I come back with a force and I just fight back and my words are cutting and then I regret it. Other people said that they needed to feel that they could actually come back to their words, they could get their words back and defend themselves. There were so many comments about empaths losing their voices and empaths going invisible when what they truly needed to be was the most visible they could possibly be in order to defend themselves. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. So, what most people don't perhaps understand is that empaths are a very unique group of people in the world. They're about 30% of the population are empaths. It means that they've got an extra little DNA strand in a whole bunch of bundles of sensory lookouts in the front of their brains that actually watch and scan for everything that's going on around them. And when they pick up on somebody that they don't feel is authentic, somebody they feel is abusive, somebody to them, somebody that they feel might be dangerous to them, somebody that might be a controller in some way or a narcissist, and that person is directing their attention towards them, all of a sudden their brain just goes, woo, gotta be invisible here, cannot be seen, gotta go incognito, if you like. And that the survival part of their brain, I'm not going to get sciencey on you, the survival part of their brain says, okay, and now we're going to shut down your visibility to other people. And your brain can actually do that by triggering all kinds of hormones in your hormones, enzymes, chemistry in your body that actually does focus on your throat and close down your ability to speak. It's called the freeze mechanism in fight, flight, survival, fight, flight, freeze. And that freeze action is something that saves most animals, and we are of the animal group in this world, from being noticed. So if you go still enough and quiet enough and small enough, just shrink down inside yourself. Most abusers or controllers, or those you consider to be abusers or controllers, will feel that they either have won the day and walk away because you're no longer of interest to them, or they won't see you at all in a larger group setting. So because you weren't their focus originally, but your survival brain is saying you may not be their original focus, but you could become it if you were to speak up and say something. So the natural tendency in that case for many empaths and sensitives is a brain freeze. And not only does your brain freeze, but your body also freezes, which means that you just can't move. You can't pick yourself up and move yourself from one place to another. Your light gets turned down so that you will be unnoticeable. You will go invisible. And that predator, or the person that's hurting your feelings, will lose interest again and just prod you a couple of times and go, oh yeah, well, that one's dead. Just let's move on to the next one. And when they're gone, you come back to life. Well, most empaths don't want that in their lives. Most empaths want to be able to, number one, protect themselves. Number two, protect the people around them, the people that they love. And when you go into freeze, you can't protect anybody. Not even if your life depended on it, could you protect anybody other than just going into freeze. So when we look at what most people need, we need a safe place to live. We need food. We need work that sustains us. We need the ability to be ourselves and express ourselves. And it isn't until we have our basic needs met that this ability to protect ourselves, to speak up for ourselves, comes to the fore, that when we want that. Now, I'm curious, and I don't know that I can see comments. Is anybody here? Is anybody watching? Just curious. If you are watching and you're able to make a comment, please make a comment. That would be amazing. Let us know where you are, if you are an empath, and whether or not you've actually experienced this sense of voice freeze where you don't have the words that come out that you need to come out to defend yourself, or whether you felt yourself go into that shutdown phase where you go invisible and your light just gets turned off and off and off and off and down as much as it possibly can so that you don't get noticed. I'm curious how many people here would like to be able to take control of their voice, turn their light back up, defend themselves. It's possible, but most of us react from the trauma state, and the trauma state says, don't get noticed, because we don't want to get hurt again. PTSD. How many people here suffer from PTSD? How many people here suffer from high anxiety? How many people here, after being with a large group of people, need to hide out and not become, and basically just hide out in order to regroup and get their sense of self back, feel stronger, as if they can once again go out into the world? How many people after a day of work need to do exactly the same thing? You need to shut down for a while. You need to go into silence. You need to go into a small, quiet, dark place, even if it's just inside your own head, inside a busy family, inside your own head, and not be emotionally available for a while. Well, again, this all comes back to body chemistry. And to get a little bit more precise, when we are threatened in some way, whether our brain recognizes it as a current, present threat, or this situation seems similar to a real event that happened at a previous time, perhaps when you were a child, when you were threatened for real, perhaps it was at a time when you suffered some kind of really intense trauma. What happens is that your brain is always scanning, this frontal cortex part of your brain is always scanning your outside environment for people, places, things, tastes, smells, touch, textures, bright light noises, loud noises, explosions, smells that trigger the reminder of a dangerous situation. Now, you might not even realize that that's been triggered. All you know is that your heart starts to pound, your throat starts to close, your vision gets all kind of blurry, and you just need to either run and hide or just completely curl up in a ball and shrink down so that you can get away from that situation. What most people don't realize is that sensation that they have is actually an alert system, letting you know that there is a potential of danger around you, right? Potential, but not necessarily a real danger at that moment. So coming back to this place of trauma triggers, PTSD triggers, stress triggers, anxiety attack triggers, panic attack triggers, that's your brain telling you this is a potential like a situation before. And you shut down. because that's what you've done in the past. Well, if you don't want to keep shutting down, if you don't want to keep losing your words, if you want to be able to stand up to people who do trigger you in some way, it's a matter of retraining your brain. It's not a matter of taking a drug to lower your anxiety. Your anxiety lowers when you take control of the situation. And the only way that you can take control of the situation is begin to learn what those triggers mean. So your heart pounding quite often is fear, anxiety. Sometimes it's happiness, excitement. And you need to be able to read that body talk. When your throat closes, that is a really clear sign that you're afraid to speak up for yourself, because somewhere, sometime in the past, you got so badly hurt for speaking up. Maybe it was a bully, maybe it was a teacher, maybe it was an elder in your community, maybe it was a parent who told you that it was dangerous for you to speak up because of their actions. So automatically your throat closes. Your throat will even close when you feel hurt by somebody else's words, because you're afraid that trigger says it's unsafe to protect myself by speaking up. If you want that to change, if you want to be able to live a full and open life, it's a matter of retraining how your brain recognizes situations, and then allowing that brain to basically respond by calming your own body, by sending your own body the chemistry, the dopamine, in order for your own body to calm and relax. And sometimes the only way to do that is with a different trigger. So if you can feel that heart pounding, if you can feel that throat closing, if you can feel the buzzing and the fuzzing in your head that doesn't let you think, at that moment you go, what is all this about? Is it me? And quite often you're going to come back with, no, that's an alert system about somebody outside of me who might be trying to control me in some way. At that point, your own heart needs to open up, not to them, not to accept them, not to love them, not to forgive them, but to create a vibrational frequency that sends back the message to them very slowly that what they're sending is not deliverable. In other words, it doesn't get past your own body's protection system. It's a neural network that's connected to your brain, to your survival center. More about that another time. That lets people know that kind of behavior, those kind of words, not deliverable, not getting past your shielding. Remember that shielding that everybody talks about? It's real. It's electrical. It's outside your body. You can touch it with the palms of your hands. And it is the most exciting, powerful tool you have to protect yourself. This is something that I teach empaths, is how to protect themselves, how to control the abusers, the narcissists, the needy people, the codependent people, the hurting, chronically ill people whose body sensations get into yours because your shielding outside of your body hasn't been set up to filter what you receive. Now, if you could filter what you received, would that make a difference in your life? It does. My students say it changes their lives. Even after 1 week of getting this training, they begin to see a difference in themselves and slowly begin to see a difference in the people that have triggered them in the past. Their relationships become more cohesive, more loving. Their relationships, their personal relationships do. Their work relationships, people see them in a different way as being stronger and able to protect themselves, which means that they're more trustworthy. They're more worthy of promotions. When you're looking after chronically ill people, if you're a healer of some kind or a caregiver, you're able to send back that message of, I see you, I see everything that's going on around you, and I empathize with that, but it does not get through my shield and into my body. This is all about taking back the overwhelm that we feel from the environment around us. I could go on and on and on with this forever, but we're reaching 15 minutes and I don't want to lose you and have your brain fuzz over because there are just too many words. So if you would like to know more about this, about calming the overwhelm that you're experiencing, I am doing a 9-week masterclass on Calm the Overwhelm. It actually starts in a couple of days on April the 17th. And if this is something that you really would like to control, I'm going to suggest that if you want to change your life, if you want to change your relationships, if you want to change your prosperity, if you want to help you find the perfect mate in life, if you want to have better relationships with your children because they're able to get through in a healthier way and you're able to communicate in a more controlled way for yourself so you're able to express yourself, I'm going to suggest that you click the link that I put in the comments below. It's the link to the information page for Calm the Overwhelmed Masterclass series, which does start on April the 17th. And if you're interested, read down the whole page. It's not a long, crazy long page, but does tell you everything that you need to know. And I would be happy to have a conversation here in Messenger or on a discovery call that is free at any time to discuss this. And if April 17th doesn't work for you, there are other dates that will be available. Contact me. And I would love to help anybody who is interested in calming their overwhelm, losing their words, feeling lost in the world, not able to maintain relationships or a job because of the traumatic responses that they have to the outside world. I'd love to be able to help you do that. I've been doing it with people for 16 years, and it's been an amazing journey for them and for me. I learn from every conversation. So please contact me. The link will be in the comments below, the first box. If you don't see it because there are a whole bunch of comments on top of it, scroll down to the bottom and that link will be there. I look forward to talking to you. I'm Sue Rumack. I am the Overwhelm Strategist and the Empath Trainer. I've been doing this a long time, folks, and I love my work. Talk to you all again soon. Bye for now.